Hi, everybody. Rob Cootie here at the MLM Solution. Today is Monday, February 8th. It's currently 10:57 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope everybody had a great weekend. Marie and I will be on here shortly at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, as always. If you don't mind, please use hashtag TheMLM Solution. You can see the ticker there, hashtag TheMLM Solution, to share our social media platforms and our live streaming podcast with our fellow network marketers all across the world. As you know, we stream live each and every day, Monday through Friday, as I said, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we stream live to our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. And as you know, we talk all things network marketing, good, the bad, and yes, even ugly. We talk about things other people won't even touch on. And matter of fact, a subject that we're going to have today, podcast number 126. That's right, 126 podcast. Marie and I have worked together. And today is an interesting subject, the benefits of attrition. We talked last week about we won't say the problems, but the challenges that come with attrition, how to eliminate or reduce the effects of attrition, et cetera. But guess what? We're going to talk about the benefits of attrition. Yes, believe it or not, there are benefits to attrition, and you don't want to miss that. With that being said, I'm going to hop off of here, and we'll see you in a few seconds. This is Rob, the MLM Solution.
Welcome to the MLM Solution Podcast Show, where you'll learn the facts and hear the truth about the network marketing industry. Here's your host, Rob Cootie.
Hello, Miss Marie. Hello. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning. Happy morning to you, Rob. Like many people across the U.S., some of us might be suffering from the super hangover, depending on who you were cheering for. That's a good hangover or a bad hangover, I don't know.
I know it, isn't that the truth? Yeah, there was a number of people that thought it was going to be a close game, and it certainly didn't look like it was going to turn out to be that. I had to leave at halftime, but from what I understand, the game continued to be dominated at that moment by Brady and the Buccaneers. So I haven't checked the score. I would take it that the Buccaneers, in fact, ended up winning. I'd be shocked if they didn't. I think it was 31-9 when I walked away from the score. And,
the Buccaneers closed it out. So
no surprise.
Congratulations to all the Florida fans, all the Brady fans. Love them or hate them, you have to be impressed by the guy's accomplishments, his work ethic, his dedication. Oh my goodness. It's remarkable. It really is.
Absolutely. Miss Marie, I cannot even fathom playing at that level at that age. Do you know who the oldest NFL player of all time was?
Oldest of all time.
That actually played. Not just
like Jankowski?
Oh, you're close. You're good. Man, you are so good. His name was George Blanda. He played quarterback and was the kicker for the Oakland Raiders. He played until he was 50, and he was a graduate of the University of Kentucky.
Okay.
George Blanda.
I knew it had to be a kicker. They're the only ones that last that long in the football league.
But here's the thing. He played quarterback and was the kicker.
Yeah.
He was quarterbacking at 50, believe it or not. He did more kicking duties, but he had to go in spot duty. Now, he was good enough to where he was a regular quarterback, I think, until he was 45, 46, 47, something like that. But he hit 48, 49, 50. You're right. He was more of the kicker at that time, but he did step in and play quarterback. That's quite amazing, isn't it?
That's why I pulled out like Jankowski.
I was like, hey, that's pretty daggone good guess.
I think he was a Raider too, wasn't he?
He was.
Apparently, the Raiders like their kickers old. I don't know.
Yeah. Evidently, they do. Well, to be that effective at that age, at that level, is just simply amazing, and that's what Brady reminds me of. How many more years he has to go, I don't know, but it's quite an accomplishment. Obviously, I'm not going to in any way, shape, or form compare myself to him. I will say that at 43 years old, I remember very vividly, I was dunking a basketball at a 9'10" goal, not at 10 foot. So it was 2 inches short. And I thought that was quite an accomplishment for me at 43 years old. And that's minuscule compared. I'm not trying to draw attention to myself. What I'm saying is I know how hard that was for me at 43. I can't imagine playing an NFL game at 43 and winning a Super Bowl. That's just
well, he's always said he wanted to play until he was 45, so we might get to watch him for a season or two yet, but who knows? Maybe he'll change his mind. Maybe he wants to go out on a high note now. I don't know.
Well, go out on
knowing him and his competitiveness, he's going to want to play another season to see if he can pull off a back-to-back.
Yes, I would venture. I think if he thinks that they're good enough to do that, I think you might be right.
Yeah. Hey, if I was a betting person, that's where I'd put my money.
I would. I think that would be a good bet. Knowing him, I agree with you. All right. With that being said, did you have a good weekend before we get started?
I had a great weekend. Can't complain. Lots of exciting stuff going on. So good times. Even though my weekends are really 7 days long because I don't track with a regular work week like most people, the weekend's still too short, right? Because everybody else is constrained by those couple of days. You know,
it's funny you say that, being retired. And guys, we're going to get to the show here in a minute. But as you know, Miss Marie and I, we don't talk during the weekend. We catch up usually on the show. But I totally can relate to that. Being retired, Miss Marie, my weekends are 7 days long too, which is something I always dreamed about. And like you, that's what I have. But Miss Marie, it flies by. I mean, it's flat out. It seems like last Monday when you and I was just yesterday.
Yep, it absolutely does.
I mean, this weekend flew by. And now we've got weather, cold weather. I don't know what you guys have. And we're supposed to have ice and snow over 3 of the next 4 days.
Oh, lucky.
I'll believe it when I see it, but
I'd like to get more snow. We had a couple systems come through, but they just haven't been dropping the kind of powder they were expected to. So I'm a little disappointed, and I think the ski resorts here are too.
Yeah. You know, that really surprises me, Miss Marie. You know, with the mountainous area that you guys have, and Utah's always been a snowy state. It's just amazing. That's the reason I always ask it, because it fascinates me. And as we close, I remember one of my last trips there, and we went up to. If I told you the story, please stop me, because I don't want to repeat myself. We went up to Robert Redford's place, the hotel,
Sundance
Hotel. It's built right up in the mountains. You drive right past it. If you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You go around the curve, and it's got those big boulders there. You have to drive right between those boulders and go back up in there. And the hotel, of course, we went to the restaurant and the bar, and we didn't stay at the hotel. And it's built in the rocks, those big, huge, beautiful rocks that you guys have. And it's sitting at the side of the mountain looking out over the valley. Have you been there?
I've been there. Yeah.
Okay, so you know what I'm talking about, right?
I do. Yeah.
Okay. So here's the rest of the story real quick. So we're down in the valley, and we were there, I think, for a new skin convention, if I'm not mistaken, or some other business. It was definitely business. Anyway, we were there, and we were down at a bar down in the valley, and me and this guy hit it off. He was a piano player, and he was really good and really nice guy, and he was just very entertaining. We had a blast. We just hit it off like you and I. I bought him beers and vice versa, and he was playing the piano. And so in the bar, I don't know if his time was up. I don't know what was going on, but he said, "Hey, we're going up to Sundance." He said, "Do you know where that is?" And I said, "No," because I didn't know anything about. I mean, I knew what Sundance, the town, and where all the actors and all that go, where Paul, Robert Redford has that. They go up there to refine their skills up there. They do production, directing, all that.
Yep.
It's a workshop. So anyway, that was not where we went. He told me about the hotel, and how in the hell we found it without GPS, I'll never know, because we were driving at night. We'd been drinking, and how small that little entryway is. I don't know if there was a sign there or not. I don't know how in the hell we found it, but we found it. So we go in there, and he's there. When you walk into the door, you go into the bar's to the right, and when you walk into the left, there's a piano up in that caddy corner over there. Does this ring a bell?
I don't remember the exact layout of the interior, but yeah,
okay.
Sure.
All right.
I believe you.
Okay, so the bar is real long, and Robert Redford is there almost every night, they say, but he wasn't there this night. And so we came in, the piano's over there, and he's over there jamming away, and there's two blondes up there singing, and it wasn't karaoke. This was a group of people, which we didn't know at the time. This guy knew all these people. And the two blondes that were singing were the blondes that played in Parent Trap.
Really?
Yeah. They were twins. And so they were there. And then, what?
I was just trying to remember their names. Wasn't it something in Haley Mills?
I don't know. Now I'm talking about the 1960s.
Yeah, so am I.
Yeah, okay, because this was in the 80s. Okay, so they were in their middle 20s at that time. So anyway, so then there's another guy over there, and him and I hit it off, and we had to talking and stuff. And he was the guy. The movie had just come out, Star Wars, and I don't know how many Star Wars movies you've seen, but this was the guy that had the horns on, and he had a red face with black diamonds on him. I don't know if you saw that, where he cut off Luke's hand. Do you remember that?
Yeah, the Sith Lord. What's his name?
Yeah. He was there. So I was sitting there drinking with him. And then over there sitting, him and I were at the bar, and to my left, which is back, and it gets darker as it goes back, was a bunch of people sitting at a table. It was Ali Shiva. Is that how you say her name?
Ali Sheedy?
Is that what it was? Okay.
I don't.
Yeah.
That'd be my guess.
So all those people, come to find out, they all knew each other, the piano player too, and they were all up there at Sundance at the workshop. And they come down to Robert Redford's bar and hotel. They were staying at the hotel there to get away from the crowds and away from the people. They didn't want people asked for autographs. Ali Shiva made it clear. She's like, nice to meet you, but and they just sat around talking, drinking beer. They didn't want to be bothered. And so that's what we did. But that was a great time, man. They had great stories and all this and that. It was fun. So there's my story. Awesome. I wanted to tell you that because you live right there. I mean, you have a real good idea where it is, right?
Yeah.
So isn't that cool?
You just never know who you might run into.
No, I had a good time. It was really a good time. It was so laid back, a beautiful place, all rustic. It's a log cabin, right? You know that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, hey, you talked about how fast time is going and the fact that last Monday feels like just yesterday, but it's a whole week ago already. And last Monday we talked about our topic was dealing with attrition.
Yeah.
And when we talked on that topic, I even thought about it that day, but I usually set the topics up for the week ahead of time and we kind of plan around that. So I didn't want to do a change up. But talking about dealing with attrition, we spoke very much about the fact that it happens, it's disappointing. And the show was kind of, we didn't skew totally negative, but it's a little bit of a downer because
Sure.
It is one of those negative aspects of working in the network marketing industry. It's a little bit of the ugly that a lot of people don't want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So what I wanted to do today, since we're a week away from that episode, is talk about the actual benefits of attrition. I don't think we touched on that quite enough in the show. I thought about it at the time, but at the same time, we're trying to keep keep our podcasts within that 30 to 40 minute range because we value your time and we want to make sure we're providing everyone with good value and keeping things short and sweet as much as possible.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to go off on that angle, but at the same time, I didn't want to let it go either.
Yeah.
Because when it comes to your network marketing business, the fact that attrition occurs is a bummer, can be frustrating, but there are some very serious benefits to it. And one of the main benefits is the fact that people are essentially opting out of the business opportunity. Even though they've joined and all of a sudden they're doing nothing, or they disappear, or they flat out tell you, yeah, this isn't for me, I'm quitting, which is the bummer aspect. What it does for you is it allows you to focus on your business, those who are producing, focusing your time and energy where it's going to be more productive.
Yeah.
The fact that those people are dropping out of your business, they're actually doing you a favor. Because if they remain in your business and essentially do nothing, it leaves you wondering, are they going to do something? Are they not doing anything because they're struggling or they don't understand something? Have I not trained them properly? Have they not used the resources that I've given them?
Mm-hmm.
So it turns into a little bit of a time and energy suck, because what you may find yourself doing is pursuing people who have no intention of actually doing anything.
Right.
So the fact that they opt out, drop off, go away, again, while it's a bummer, it's actually a good thing, because now they're totally off your radar. There's nothing else you can do for them. You don't have to pay attention to that anymore. You don't have to dedicate any time to that follow-up. You can use your focus and your energy then on the people who are producing within your organization, or others who may need that little bit of extra help, the extra follow-up, and those types of things. So that, to me, that is the biggest benefit of attrition when it happens. Would you not agree?
Oh yeah. No, you did that beautifully, and I agree with that. Here's the bottom line, Miss Marie. When I was really starting to learn the business, when I was really beginning to grasp and understand what was happening and all the little intricacies, because we would sit around and we would talk about things like you're talking about now. We'd almost have like a fireside chat, which was always enjoyable to me. And I was able to get these guys' attention, obviously, because we were all sitting there having a beer or whatever, and we had their total attention, and I would sit and listen more than I would talk. And then I would just ask very quick, pointed questions, because I wanted clarification. I wanted to be a sponge, because I only had a limited amount of time to be around these guys, right? It wasn't like I was going to spend the night over there or anything. So the reason I tell you that is because one of the questions I asked them, because they were talking about attrition, and they were talking about the different types of attrition. I thought there was only one type of attrition. And so, when they got done talking, I said, well, I really don't understand what it is you guys are getting at. I hear the words, but I can't picture what it is exactly that you're getting at. And they said, well, you have 3 different types of attrition. You have attrition where people join today and gone tomorrow, and you never hear from them again. Whether they get their money back or not, we don't know, because if they're going to, they're going to get it from the company. And then bottom line is, it'll show up in our back office later on as a refund. And so the bottom line is, they said that's one type of attrition. And they said, really, it's almost 2 types of attrition. I said, what do you mean? They said, well, you got the person left and they took their money too. That's 2 attritions, right? And so you had 2 negatives take place, right? And I was like, okay, all right, that's common sense. That makes sense. But they said, that's not really what we're talking about. The financial side is really kind of tied to them leaving. So we count that as 1, even though there's 2 attritions there, we count that as 1. And I'm like, okay. And so then they go, but the second type of attrition is this. You have a person that comes in as a business builder. They may decide the very next day they don't want to be a business builder. They end up being a customer. Well, that's attrition. And I said, well, what do you mean? They said, because you no longer have a business builder. That's what you're doing. You're looking for that business builder. And when they decide, that is still attrition. Yes, you're getting volume. Yes, they're still in the business because they become a customer. right? But they're no longer a business builder of any type. Okay. And I said, okay. I said, that makes sense. And they said, so that's the second form of attrition. And then the third form of attrition is somebody they say, hey, I want to be a big business builder, and they take off and they literally are working their way towards, and they get to the $3,000 a month level, whatever, they just pick a number, and they decide, I'm done. This is where I want to stay. And you and I have talked about that, Miss Marie, where people are happy where they are. Everybody has a scale of life number. Remember that? We did an episode on scale of life. Everybody has a stopping point, and you accept that. And you and I talked about, don't try to turn a 5 into a 10, blah, blah, blah. All of that goes in there. Miss Marie, that was the third type of attrition. I did not know that. They said, look, you got to understand, what are your goals? To surround yourself with as many leaders as you possibly can as quick as you can, which means what? People that have big dreams going after big businesses, okay? And the people that filter off, as you and I talked about, Miss Marie, which they're going to do, only 2 to 3%, well, 1 to 3% of the people that out of your whole group's going to be in that category, the big business builders. Everybody else is a form of attrition. I did not know that. So, but what you said is true. This is a good attrition. The only bad attrition, they said, is when the person's totally gone, because there's no volume. Okay. But what it does, it opens up, it creates a vacuum where you go out and sponsor somebody else, right? So that's a positive. So
I was going to say that's the other positive aspect of attrition, especially when people drop off and go entirely away. It's a very stark reminder that you need to be consistent in your efforts in building the business yourself. Right. You never want to go into that management mentality with your team. You want to keep building. You want to continue that consistency of bringing in new people and searching for those diamonds in the rough, so to speak.
Yep.
Because as you say, 1 to 3 out of every 100 people are going to be the actual true business builders that are going to help your business grow.
That's right.
And who are going to take the business seriously. Yeah. As a business, build the business, have the big dreams, the big goals, looking for that big check, the time freedom, the lifestyle elevation that they're looking for. Yeah. So that's another good reminder or benefit of the attrition, the fact that you want to keep that consistency. You do not want to put all your eggs in one basket thinking that, hey, I've brought in Mr. Rob Cootie to my organization and he's got a proven track record of success across several different organizations over the years. This guy's going to blow it up. I am set. And it's like, well, Rob may come in and he may decide, oh, you know what? I thought this was a better opportunity than it actually is. This company ain't all that. See ya. Yeah. Right? So, you never want to count your chickens before they're hatched, put all your eggs in one basket. Apparently, I need some breakfast.
Food on the mind. Well, you're on a roll this morning. You bring us some really good points, and I'm always flattered and blessed by your input because it really brings up other really good points. And one of them I think we might want to do a show on. I want to get your opinion. Ms. Marie, when you were talking about 3 people out of 100, I don't want that number to scare people. That's another example of the numbers of network marketing working. That is, in fact, 1 to 3%, guys. You have 100 people, and 1 to 3 of those are going to be big business builders. Now, I'm going to tell you something. If that happens, you should be jumping up and down, okay? Because let me tell you something. That is exactly what you're looking for, and those are good odds. Remember, Richard Call said, I would go a whole year looking for a Jerry Campese because that Jerry Campese was that powerful, that big, and that strong. Okay, now, here's the thing. Miss Marie and I will do a show in the future because, guys, you're not the one that's going to do those 100 people. Okay, now you can do 100 people in 1 year. In other words, sponsor 100 people if that's what your goal is. I knew people that had a goal of sponsoring 150 people in 6 months. Okay. Now, here's the thing. You got to realize if you sponsor the right people, you will not have to personally sponsor 100 people. So I don't want that statement that she made to come across the wrong way. But here's what I think we ought to do a future episode on. Guys, and this is not off topic, I'm just bringing this up while she had made that point. When you sponsor the right people, scale of ambition 5 and above, and you sponsor them quickly and efficiently, and you work with them and help drive their legs deep to deliver that stability that you and they need, here's the thing. When your business starts to explode, you'll have hundreds of people in your business. And it all starts with that little fire, that one person out of 100, as she said, that 2 people out of 100, that 3 people out of 100. That's your 1 to 3%. Guys, it's worth it, because those people will cause a virtual explosion in your business, where your business will go from 50 people to 200 or 300 within 2 or 3 weeks. Okay. So maybe we ought to do an episode on that so that we can clarify to people exactly how that little flame that you just talked about can cause this big, huge explosion. So, but anyway, back to the subject today, which is, they're again tied into what we're talking about. Guys, there's this good thing, as they told me, Miss Marie, they said, look, when people leave, that means that they weren't meant to be there to begin with. It was an emotional decision they made. They got caught up in the dream. They got caught up in all the excitement. They got on a conference call. They heard all this great stuff. And on the spur of the moment, they joined, Miss Marie. And they had buyer's remorse almost immediately. There was nothing you were going to be able to say or do to save them. Okay. And as you stated, let them go, because you're going to spend valuable time on somebody that wasn't supposed to be there to begin with. Mm-hmm. You know, and there again, this is the kind of insight you got when you hung out with these guys, Miss Marie. So when you walked away, you felt better about the business model. You felt better about yourself. You felt better about what you were doing and the approach you were taking. Your confidence was going up, because you realize these guys had, you know, they're living the life you want. They've already done these things, and they're giving you insight. And if you're willing to listen, you can learn so much from them and save you so much time and heartache. And that was one of the things, Rob, they weren't supposed to be there to begin with. Quit crying over the fact that they left, and they took their volume with them, and there was a refund. Who cares? Go on to the next person. You and I did episodes. Remember, we talked about you got to move through people quickly, because if you stay right here trying to convince that person to join, you'll miss on a Marie who could be a big shot in the company, but you are too busy trying to convince Joe to join. Okay. That's what they would say. You got to let them go and move on to the next person, because the next person could be your Jerry Campese, your Richard Call, your Marie Cannon.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and it's interesting, because you talk about the fact that, you know, you don't want to spend too much time on the wrong people.
Yeah.
And I heard a story recently that makes me think of this, that maybe will illustrate this a little bit better for people too. And I don't remember the gentleman's name or anything. This isn't my story. It's a story I heard, but apparently there was a salesman who was selling Dish Network. So, you know, the satellite TV stuff. Mm-hmm. And he ended up becoming really successful. Like, he was selling twice as much as all the rest of the sales reps. And they were all doing essentially the same thing, going to the same places, whether it was knocking on doors or hanging out in like shopping malls with their little, you know, kiosk or whatever. Mm-hmm. And what this guy did was absolutely brilliant, because it was short and sweet, and it kind of highlighted who his target market was, who would actually be interested in that Dish product, mm-hmm. and who wasn't. As people would walk by him in the mall, he would say, "Well, sir, did you forget to order Dish?" And if they looked at him and said, "What?" And he was like, "Never mind." Because they weren't familiar with the product. They didn't know what it was. It wasn't already on their mind. But he would just say that to enough people as they're walking by very quickly, and he'd hit on somebody. And he'd say, "Ma'am, did you forget to order Dish? You know, I've been meaning to make that switch." He's like, "Here, let me sign you up. It'll take 3 minutes." And that was how he found his customers. He wasn't sitting there spending a bunch of time trying to explain the benefits of Dish versus cable versus UHF versus whatever, or talk about the technology or, you know, the pricing plan or anything like that. It was just that one simple question. "Hey, did you forget to order Dish?"
That's cool.
And it was amazing, because he could move through people that much more quickly. And that's what you're after, right? You're trying to find the people who the opportunity is going to resonate with, who aren't, necessarily just minding their own business, having a great life, not thinking about doing a side hustle, not thinking about wanting extra income, concerned about time freedom, looking to, next level their lifestyle. But for the right people, that message is going to resonate, and those are the ones you want to focus on. So it's that efficient use of time. And when it comes to that attrition aspect, that's really what you're doing, is leveraging the time. You're not spending extra time, losing extra time on people that just aren't going to stick for whatever reason.
Well, that's a great story because that's a prime example, Miss Marie, that when you hit on the right combination, in other words, his message delivery, the right words, and you get on a roll and it's working, you can see his results obviously proved that when you get on that roll and you hit that, man, you keep doing that over and over, just like a daggone machine, right? You pump that same message out time and time again, and look at the results you got. That's amazing. And I love hearing stories like that. So what does that remind you of, Miss Marie? What we tell people?
The music to the ears message, maybe.
Right there.
Well, that's totally what I thought of when I heard that story.
See, there it is, guys. That's what we've been trying to tell you guys. That is the power of doing something that's right, something that works, doing it over the same way until you find the right person that perks up, as Miss Marie said, and says, "Ooh, I like what I hear." Guys, when you've got that, it's a gold mine. There is no limit to what you can do. And he became a top salesman because of it. That was awesome. What a brilliant strategy. What a great story and a great illustration to what the right message. Because guys, what do we tell Miss Marie about the music to the ears message? Is designed to do what? Either attract people or push them away. And that's what his did.
Well, and it's an illustration of, you can't say the right thing to the wrong person.
Exactly.
And you can't say the wrong thing to the right person.
I love it when people say that. And that's such a great, you're right. It's such a great story in that regard. Well, I tell you what, we've come up with some really good real life stories and examples of what attrition, what the benefits of attrition can be. I was struggling a little bit for the words that I wanted to use there, but guys, in summary, because Miss Marie, even though we got a little bit of a late start, we really covered the subject well without beating it up and dragging it out. But let's summarize what we talked about here, guys. Look, there are benefits. And I told you the 3 benefits that the guys told me when I was fortunate enough to sit around with them. And they told me the 3 different types of attrition, and they are benefits. And you have to accept them for what they are. When somebody says they want to be a big business builder and they fall back to $3,000 or $1,500 a month, Miss Marie and I have told you, accept the 4 for what they are and let them be the best 4 they can be. If they fall back to a 6, let them be a 6 and be the best 6 they can be, because they're still in your business. They're still producing volume. They're stable. Enjoy them, embrace them, love them, support them. If you do, man, the impact can be huge. Look, as we said, when you understand the numbers, and I'm not going to get off on a tangent, when you understand the numbers, it makes accepting a 6 a whole lot easier. And it makes you say, I'm not going to bother that 6 because I have stability there. They've been doing it for months. They're great at it. They got their business stable. I'm not going to mess with that. If they don't call me, I ain't calling them. Okay. Like I told you, you can check in every once in a while. Hey, you're doing great. Got any problems? Got any questions? Nope. Everything's great. Life's great. Love it. Okay, good. Okay. As long as you stay in touch with them and you have a good relationship, if they ever change their mind, they'll contact you. I promise you. But here's the thing, Miss Marie, if you upset the apple cart, you're going to cause problems and you're going to piss off some people and you're going to start pushing people away, which is going to cause attrition, meaning they're going to leave altogether because Rob's a pain in the ass. He's constantly on me. He's constantly looking over my shoulder. I don't like this relationship. I don't like working with him. I'm gone as soon as I can find a company to go to. You will cause the attrition. Now, the point is that if I'm smart and I just say, hey, it is what it is, let it be what it is. And you know what? Work with the people that really want to be the big shots, Miss Marie. And if you do that, guys, look, you got to realize, once again, as I started this out, when you understand the numbers of network marketing, you let that 6 alone, because you understand that 97 or 98% of your group is going to be in that category. Okay, they're going to be small to medium-sized businesses and customers. That's what's going to make up your 97, 98%. Why upset the cart? Why try to force somebody to be something they're not? Let them alone. Let them be, and focus on what, Miss Marie? The 1 to 3%ers, and work with them. I promise you, they will keep you busy. Right?
Well, exactly. And that's really what I wanted to highlight in today's episode. The fact that, yes, attrition is a bummer, but there are benefits for you and your business as a whole, especially long term, if you understand how to view it correctly.
That's right. Absolutely. And it's going to happen, Miss Marie, whether you like it or not. So why have a pissy attitude about it?
No.
You know, and the one thing that really helped me, Rob, if they left, they weren't supposed to be here to begin with. And when they said that, it's like, you know what? They're right. I am not going to worry about those people leaving again. I am going to move forward, and I'm not going to worry about it. They're gone. They're gone. It just means that I was supposed to replace them to begin with. That means there's somebody else out there that I need to plug in that is going to be my big shot.
Yep.
So that helped me a lot. Well, I think we really covered it well. What do you think?
I think so, but I wanted to say, speaking of that pissy attitude you just mentioned, the great lead-in for tomorrow's episode. Join us tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern. We are going to be talking about the Eeyore effect. And if you don't know who Eeyore is, it's from the story of Winnie the Pooh.
It is.
It was one of his friends. If you remember, he's a donkey with a pinned-on tail who's always kind of sad. So that's all I'm going to say about that. If you want to hear more about what exactly we're talking about with the Eeyore effect, join us tomorrow morning, Tuesday, February 9th, 11 a.m. Eastern, live right here.
Yep. Hold on one second. I'm going to show people real quick what Eeyore looks
like. You're pulling up a picture of Eeyore?
Yeah, I am. I'm pulling up Eeyore here.
That's probably good. We should probably have that for tomorrow.
You know what? I should have done that to begin with. It only takes a second. In the meantime, he's already up. Here's Eeyore.
There's Eeyore.
There he is. I love that guy, man. He cracks me up. He talks so slow.
I don't know. We could probably do the entire, well, at least the core cast of Winnie the Pooh. We could probably do an episode on each of them and how it relates to network marketing. That could be fun. I think I just threw out a challenge for myself.
That would be. I'll tell you too. I love Winnie the Pooh like everybody else, but I'll tell you, it's SpongeBob and Patrick and Mr. Crab, man. My grandkids, I'm not going to go down this path. I'll just say this. When my grandkids were young and they wanted to watch Barney, Dora the Explorer, and I know it, and SpongeBob, I was like, what in the world? What are you talking about? I didn't know anything about cartoons.
Oh, my goodness. Out of those three, I'll take SpongeBob any day.
Yes. And so I was like, oh my gosh. And then I saw SpongeBob. I about peed my pants. I laughed so hard. Now I've got SpongeBob everything. I got SpongeBob cup. I got a coffee cup, SpongeBob, not underwear. Pajamas.
I was going to say, do you wear the square pants?
And so I do have pajamas that are SpongeBob. I'm a SpongeBob nut. So anyway, I watch SpongeBob every chance I get. It cracks me up. I still laugh. Okay, so with that being said, guys, as I told Miss Marie, I have been working madly. I got up last night at 1 a.m. and worked all day on the website, totally redesigning it. I had been working on it a little bit here and there. Anyway, without dragging this on, the point is that the website, this free gifts, free, FREE, 4 critical mistakes, 5 simple steps to networking success, and 0 to networking hero. This will be going down without any doubt in the next 2 to 3 days. I was going to take it down today. I did not do it. Go there now. Get them while you can. TheMLM-solution.net. I'm telling you, that is coming down. I did a massive work over in the members area today. I did not do the actual visual site that you guys see, but that is next on the list. And I promise you, those gifts are going to go away. Miss Marie and I were talking about it before we got on the show. We got a lot of good changes coming, all positive, all good for you guys. I can promise you that. So go there and get those while you can. And from this week, starting this week, there's going to be a change in our podcast where there's going to be a lot of products that are going to be highlighted, but at the same time, there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be available for you guys that were not available before. So there's a lot of good things coming very, very shortly. So don't miss out. Get those now while you can. FREE. Just go to TheMLM-solution.net. And remember, 4 critical mistakes is Miss Marie's favorite product. All right. With that being said, I'm not going to get into any of the other products that we have because they're going to be changing here shortly. So there's no sense bringing them up, Miss Marie, because their URLs are going to change and will not be where they are right now. So I can confidently say that these are right there where they should be. The other ones, no.
Yep. So visit TheMLM-solution.net before we make those changes. It's going to happen any minute. Yes. We were supposed to bring them down at the end of the day Friday, but we got busy and tied up with some stuff behind the scenes that need to be sorted out first. So take advantage of the fact that we're being haunted by gremlins you're not seeing and grab those free gifts while they're available.
Oh my gosh, you remember? I was like, what is she talking? You're right. Man, you're right. Friday was a nightmare. Oh my gosh. Yes, she is absolutely right, guys. My computer messed up so bad. I have multiple computers, but I'll be honest with you. I was on my iMac and man, it was messed up and I had to get it fixed. And I couldn't work on the site. I was going to take it down. You're absolutely right, Miss Marie. Way to go. Boy, she's good. All right, guys, with that being said, we're going to hop off here. We're taking up enough of your time. We'll see you tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, as always. And don't forget, tomorrow is the Eeyore effect. That's going to be a good one. We all love Eeyore, and we're going to have a good conversation about that. Don't miss it. Please share, once again, our podcast and our social media platforms. Hashtag TheMLM Solution with our fellow network marketers across the globe. God bless. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you for listening to the MLM Solution Podcast. For more info, visit our website, TheMLM-solution.net. Please follow us on the following platforms: Facebook, YouTube, etc. And share this podcast with our fellow network marketers around the world by hitting the share button on our various platforms.